So it's been about a month since Yamaha released a pretty big update for the SEQTRAK. And I actually got to see it in action at NAMM, as well as some experimental things they're testing out. But I didn't want to fully cover it until I had some time to sit with it and really get into what's new and what hasn't changed, because there is one thing that I was really hoping would get an update and it hasn't. It's the sampler. The sampler hasn't gotten any update at all. But if you like the groovebox side of the SEQTRAK, then there's a lot to like in this 2.0 update. They've done a lot of quality of life improvements, expanding what you can do on the SEQTRAK. So first, all of the drum tracks on this left side can now be used as synth tracks. Let's say this clap, right? If you hold this down, you'll see these bottom three with the magenta one. That's your drum. This one's your drum kit. Another new one we'll talk about next. And then this one is your synth. Now, if you hold it, you'll see slowly on this line over here, it takes a while. I think they say 5 seconds. But once you hold it long enough, you can hear it. And this one becomes magenta. There's your synth track. And now it acts just like synth 1 and 2 up here. You can't use the DX sounds, which is a little bit of a bummer. Having now way more synths means a lot more layers you can do in a song. But let's say you make 6 more synth sounds and you're stuck with just one kick drum, right? Or any drum that you've left open. Well, that's what this other one is for. And if we hold this down, now we've got a drum kit. I've also found that if you're playing the sequencer, you can't change this. See how it flashes red? So just something to know, you have to be paused. Now it still sounds just like a kick, right? But over here on these, and it's polyphonic. And whenever you click one, this becomes a sequencer for that. So let's say we do this and we'll go, how about this, and if we hit play, let's get a snare. And we can live record. We can still sequence, and we can change the sound. So we'll just find a kick we like. There we go. That's a good one. And for snare, let's we have to click this one. Old habits die hard, right? That works. Now let's go over, you can see what's listed as clap here is labeled synth, right? And so if we just get rid of the app now, these are our chords now. So let's actually get maybe like a synth pad. So let's record that in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're gonna put this here for a second because I wanna go in LFO, filter cutoff. Put a couple of ghost notes as well. Oh, I like that. Okay, we gotta up the volume of these a little bit. So, kick needs some distortion. So we're just gonna nudge this off a little bit. So, we've got our drum kit, we've got our synths. Now there's a couple small additions that they've added, which really comes down to expansion of using the all knob to change things. So if we hold either one of the BPMs and adjust the all knob, but there's that, they've also added it for volume, for pan, for scale, for octave. It does give you a much deeper workflow, being able to use a larger portion of tracks for synths. So we can add way more melodies. We have a bass. We still haven't added this. Okay, now let's get a different sound on this. There we go. That should work. Yeah, let's put that in too. Okay, I really want that kick and the drums to be a bit louder though. actually like that. That's like gritty. Okay, so this is weird and probably not something I would normally do, but I'm actually gonna leave an amp sim on the drums. That grits it up. That's what was missing. What I like about this though is that there's a lot more flexibility in how intricate you want to make a song, right? You no longer have to think, oh, all of these are going to be drums and then these are going to be just the tiny few little synths I want. Because for me, the SEQTRAK is really an ideation station. It has solid synth presets and it's got really good drum sound. The sequencer is really fun to program. So I like to get started with ideas on here, make something I can sample, then sample that into something like the SP and chop it up and do all that sort of stuff. So it's become a lot more flexible and just powerful for that, right? The groovebox angle is way more beefed up. And even when it comes to the drum kit, you can hold the mute button and treat these pads just like you would these drum tracks. So that's a nice way to still have the mute functions if you want to mute the drums in a more granular fashion. While the groovebox angle has been updated, nothing has changed with the sampler. And the sampler is still very bare bones. The couple of things that I'd really like to see added to the SEQTRAK sampler, were it to ever get an update, would mainly be resampling. Because think about, with all these synth tracks now that you can have at your disposal, you can make these really cool samples, resample into the sampler, and then if you could chop, you can make chops out of it, get whole new things. You can do a lot of parameter locks on all the other tracks. But when it comes to the sampler, you can't parameter lock the start and end point. But it does remove a lot of the slowdown and limitations with your synths, because now you can expand. So those are the biggest additions in the SEQTRAK 2.0 update. Which of these are you actually using, and what's still missing for you? And if you want to learn how to make the most out of the SEQTRAK, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.